Another month has come and gone, which means it is time for another bullet journaling video. Hi, my name is Melody. Welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be journaling for the month of June. So if you're new here, I like to journal about my reading habits and all my reading goals. So this is my reading bullet journal. But of course, any of the techniques or ideas I have in this journal can be used in any type of bullet journal. So feel free to steal all my ideas. Anyway, we are starting off this month, as you can see, not yet inside the journal because I have a lot of prep work I'm doing this month. By the way, I should mention the theme, which I don't really have a really solid name or idea to describe this theme. I'm just going to call it my scrapbooking theme because this month it felt like I was scrapbooking, and I really like that, and I really like how it turns out. So we're gonna call this a scrapbook theme, and I want to scrapbook my trip that I just went on. If you watched my May bullet journaling video, I mentioned that I was going on a trip to Italy in May, and I designated that theme to like a traveling theme. So this month I want the theme to be the reflection of that trip, or the scrapbook of that trip, which I think is a really fun and cute idea. So let me stop talking and explain what I'm actually doing now. So I have this little Foamimo printer, and you don't have to have this printer. Honestly, a regular printer would work better than this little thing. However, I don't have a regular printer. This is all I have. So basically this little printer hooks up to my phone, and I was able to print out little black and white, quite grainy photos from my trip. And I found out that these papers kind of take well to marker, like not the greatest, but they do color over decently. So I had the idea of printing out these little black and whites and then coloring them in, kind of like a coloring book for each of these little prints. And by the way, this paper, this roll of paper from this printer does have a sticky backside, which does make my life a little bit easier going in, but I still stand by the fact that it would look better and the picture would be clearer and easier to draw if you use a regular printer. So don't think you have to have the Foamimo printer to do this technique. It's easier in some ways and harder in others. I am limited to this size of picture pretty much, so that's another downside to it. But here are some examples of some finished colored in photos that I did, and they just have kind of a rustic, grainy feel, which at first I wasn't sure about. I didn't really like it, but when I start to put everything all together, it ends up working out really nicely. So finally, we're opening up the bullet journal, and now that I have all these little pictures colored in, I can start laying them around and kind of seeing where I want to place them. And I have these papers here that I got at Hobby Lobby. I just got this little booklet of these cards, I guess you could call them. There's the booklet. And I picked this booklet because of the color schemes. I thought they matched up well to the colors I was already using, and it just so happened to also be kind of travel themes, so it worked out really well for me in the end. And here you can see I'm just ripping up that paper into whatever size or shape I want, and I get to start laying things out and playing with the composition. After getting back from my trip, I was thinking about what I wanted this month's theme to be, and I couldn't think of anything besides Italy. I am still so obsessed. It's still in my head all the time. The trip was fantastic, so I wanted it to be a theme about my trip, and it just so happened that it looks really scrapbooky, and I used to scrapbook when I was younger, so it was kind of fun going back to this kind of style and this kind of mindset. And the beauty about a scrapbook theme kind of like this is that it's really personal. You can print out pictures of whatever you want in your personal life. It could be a trip like I did, or graduation, or maybe your pets, or whatever you want it to be. And I think that's the beauty of this theme, of this kind of scrapbook feel. And printing out your own photos, it can be whatever you want and so personal to you. So this might not be the most interesting bullet journal to watch me create because it is just me moving things around and trying to decide the composition and where I want to place things. But because of that, it's really easy. So I would recommend this type of bullet journal, this type of scrapbook technique for anybody who doesn't like to draw as much in their bullet journal but still want the imagery. This is a really great technique. I'll probably do this again because it was so quick compared to trying to draw the big imagery or coloring in a lot. So compared to some of my past themes, this one is a lot easier. And by the way, here I'm showing you some of the washi tape I got recently. This is an addition to the collection I already have, but I just wanted to show you. I get these big packs of washi tape for about $20, and I am using washi tape a lot in this video. I love washi tape when it comes to bullet journals. I think they can really be the key to cinching in a composition. So yeah, I really utilize my washi tape collection, and there really is no rhyme or reason to where I place it. I just kind of like to make it look like I haphazardly taped my photos into the bullet journal. So that's just the kind of mindset I go in when I'm using the washi tape. And here you can see on the right side I have added the title of June. I just calligraphied the title onto a white piece of paper, and I kind of taped that in there for the title. And back on the left I have left a little blank space for this text, because I thought that would be a great focal point, a way to kind of draw you in from the chaos around it. So here I am writing Italy 2022. Now I am getting started on the calendar that's going to be here on the right side of the page, and this calendar keeps track of the days I either read or listen to books. So I wanted this to look like pieces of paper that had been inserted into these little metal corner pieces. I don't know what they're called, guys, but you know what I mean. So I use a metallic gel pen in gold to make those metallic looking corners, and I have this little stamp set that looks like typewriter font, and I really love this set. Using this really just adds some dimension to my bullet journal themes, I think, and I really like how it looks with this particular scrapbooking theme, and it also kind of lends to the travel feel, I think. I don't know, there's something about typewriter font that just works well with almost anything. So here I'm using that for some of the titles, and you'll see me using these stamps throughout the rest of the spreads as well. So basically, after I'm done making this calendar here, that is the end of the spread. It is all complete. What do you guys think? I really like it. I think that this scrapbooking technique is the most efficient way to really fill a spread. I mean, I covered it. It is so colorful, it is so bright, there's so much movement. I just cannot get over this spread. I'm just adding a few little details, some colorful backdrop to my title. I go in and add a few stars and stuff. But other than that, this spread is pretty much finished. Now we are on to the second spread, which is going to be my books read spread. On these spreads, I like to section them off into 6 different sections where I can write down each book I read this month and a little bit about that book. So again, we're sticking heavily with the scrapbooking theme, obviously, and I'm just trying to section off the spread as best I can, and including as many photos as possible as well. I tried to include some pictures of food this time, but I just feel like food photos don't translate as well as, say, architectural photos, just because the colors are so specific for food, and I don't know, it's just always hard to draw or color food, in my opinion. But I wanted to include some food pictures anyway because, of course, food was a huge part of the trip. We had some amazing dishes while we were in Italy. I mean, of course, you can't avoid good food in that country. So, yeah, I'm salivating thinking about it right now. On this page, I have a picture of a pizza from Gusta Pizza in Florence. A plate of spaghetti pomodoro, I think. I think that one was from a place in Rome. And then on the left side, I love this photo. We ate at a restaurant in, I think it was Bellagio, Lake Como. And they had these beautiful light salmon pink tablecloths. And I ordered a rosé. And the colors matched so beautifully. And it was such a pink moment. I had to include that photo. And I'm just adding a few text here and there. Buon appetito. I wanted to do a little bit of doodling, just add some more texture to these spreads. I don't do a lot of doodling, honestly. Just a few snippets or phrases here and there and some stars throughout. But other than that, the doodling is to a minimum for this theme this month. And I guess I left out the story of the picture on the right side, which was rude of me. So that is the Campanile in Verona. So we took a day trip to Verona when I took that photo, and that was taken in the main piazza of Verona. So yeah. The final step to this page, for the most part, is filling in the boxes with just this pale peachy color, just so I take a little bit of the white off the page, if that makes sense. It makes it look like the page is fuller than it actually is if you do color boxes like this. And that pretty much concludes that spread. You will of course see the final reveal at the very end, but now we are continuing to spread number 3. And here I'm getting out my Fomimo again because this month I am going to print out my little calendars. I usually make these by hand, and I was thinking this month, like, why would I do that? I have this little printer and it literally has pre-made calendars ready to go on the app. So I worked smarter, not harder this month, and I printed out my calendars for my goal tracker. I can't believe I've never done this before, but I bet you I'll be doing it in the future. Honestly, that was so quick and easy. I can't believe I've never done this before. It really helped speed things up, and then I was able to move things around and play with the placement again, like I've been doing this whole time. Honestly, genius. So for this spread, on the left is going to be my hauled list. Now, usually I will either skip the hauled list completely or have a really small area for the books I haul in the month because it's usually not a lot. However, I may or may not have gone on a little book buying spree recently, so I have a big page reserved for my hauled list this month, and that is what the entire left side is going to be. I am not going to do a TBR list this month. When I was thinking about it, I really don't have any specific books I want to read this month. I really just want to read by my mood. I'm just going to be a full-on mood reader this month. No plans. So I spend a little while playing with this right side of the page, which is my goal tracker page. And I include a photo in the middle there. So this spread only has 2 photos, but they are some of my favorites. The one on the left is a picture of me and Spencer in front of the Trevi Fountain in Rome. A nice man took this photo for us, and we look like the only 2 people in front of the fountain. It's miraculous, but so I really love that picture for that reason. And then the one on the right is Spencer driving the boat around the island of Capri. That was definitely the highlight of the trip for me was when we got to sail around the island, just the two of us, and the beautiful rock formations behind him. I just love that photo so much. And here you can see I've gotten out my little font stamps again, my typewriter font stamps, and I am using those to stamp in the hauled title and the goal tracker title as well. I think for a while of how I want to distinguish the different calendars for their goals, and I end up just writing the goals and pointing to the calendar they correspond to. It's just quick, easy, and I think it lends to that scrapbook feel and that doodle quality some more. And that pretty much wraps up this spread, and we're finally moving on to the last one, the fourth and final spread. This one is going to be an idea dump on the left, and on the right is going to be my favorite of the month. So this one took me a while to figure out the layout, but I finally figured one out that includes 3 photos because I like including as many photos as possible, and I really like in particular the horizontal one I put on the left. It took me a while to color in, so I really wanted to make sure I included it. It's a picture of me in Verona next to the river, wearing a beautiful red dress, and so I really like that photo. And here on the left you can see me playing around with this layout. There's another picture of a drink I had in Positano, and a picture from Varenna, the town we stayed at Lake Como. And there in the middle I leave a white swatch where I will be printing out the cover of my favorite book in the month of June, and I will be pasting it in there using the same exact printer I've been using this whole video. Yeah, and that basically wraps up that page. I think my camera died, so I didn't quite get the very end, but that's okay because we are at our final flip through. Overall, I really love how this month's theme turned out. You can see I filled in the background of the calendar a little later and added some stars and a little bit more gold detailing. And here you can really see how grainy those photos are when I do these up close shots. So you can see that the printer isn't perfect, but it kind of lends to the whole ripped paper, haphazard, there we go, swatches of washi tape. So I think overall it works, but like I said at the very beginning, it's not the most high quality printer. It has some pros and it has some cons to it, and yeah, you'll see that I did have to kind of cut into any papers or photos that I had over the seams of the book just so it closed a little bit better. I still haven't figured out the best way to do that when it comes to closing a book and having images that cross over the divide. But anyway, yeah, I just love these shots that are a little bit more close up so that you can see the photos a little bit better, because I spent so much time coloring them in and printing them out and picking them, so I'm glad you guys get to see them a little clearer in these little shots. I love how even the most simple spreads are still full and look really fun and colorful. That is the beauty of this theme again. I just really love the scrapbooking theme. I just think it turned out so fun, so easy. I love how personal it is. I just love seeing my own photos in this spread. It is just perfect. It is fueling my obsession with Italy. It honestly makes me so happy. I don't know if there's ever been a bullet journal spread that has made me this happy. I just love it to pieces, and I hope you guys love it too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some good ideas, and more than anything, I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!